life-changing moment. Knowing your wrongs and knowing where to correct your wrongs is you're in a pretty good place, because knowing your wrongs and knowing where to correct your wrongs is already putting you on a pathway to bettering yourself. Yes, I am back, and I can go into more depth on what was in that first little clip. So, knowing your wrongs and knowing where to correct your wrong puts you in a pretty good place, because you're already on a pathway to bettering yourself. Me and a brother at work today, we was talking about knowing your wrongs and knowing where to correct your wrongs. And what we was talking about and what we had discussed, that, a lot of us, a lot of people are doing things that are wrong, but they're not trying to correct their wrongs. Because the reason why they're not trying to correct their wrongs is because they don't know that it's wrong. But when you know that it's wrong, and when you truly can target what's going on and what's wrong, then you are on a better pathway to making yourself better. Just because you cuss like a sailor doesn't mean God don't love you. But what I came to tell you is, when you address it and when you try to better yourself, that's when you that's when you can understand that you're on a pathway to bettering yourself. Just because you do things differently than the next person doesn't mean, but when you do things the way that you do things doesn't always mean that the way that you're doing them are right. But I came to tell you that it is important that you know that making your wrongs right, righting your wrongs, is the very first step. And the most important step in correcting that is to admitting, to knowing that it's wrong. And then you can obtain the pathway of bettering yourself. So you can do things that would target you in going in a better direction than you were once going. You once used to lie so much that nobody ever believed you. You know the story of the big bad wolf. You cried wolf so long that now nobody believes you. But you can correct every bad thing in your life, but you got to want it. So the question I want to ask you is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want the change? How bad do you want to better yourself? Because the first step is knowing that it's wrong. Because when you know, guess what? You can better yourself. I couldn't better myself until I admit to the things that I've done. Until I admit to the things that were controlling me, that was controlling my attitude. I still got a long ways to go. Y'all looking at a man, I still got a long ways to go. But I thank God every day that I'm not who I used to be. I'm not the person that I used to be. I'm not the crazy psychopath that I once was. What you talking about, preacher? I was once bound for hell. But I changed my life and gave it to God. And I let God be the author and let him be the finisher of my faith. So the first step to the pathway of bettering yourself is knowing your wrongs. Because once you know your wrongs, you can better yourself. So what are you going to do to better yourself? All right. God bless you. My brothers and sisters, keep this on your mind at all times. I can, I will, and I shall. To the brothers, right on. To the sisters, one love. I'll see you soon.